Welcome back to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. We got a great segment for you. It's called The Athlete and the Chef. So sit back, relax, and let's go. All right, welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. Cornell, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Full.
Yeah.
Lots of food today.
Nice.
Lots of meat. Back in town, so it's back to normal schedule. Not that I was complaining at all about the food I was eating in Tennessee, but
Well, from what it sounded like, you were eating pretty darn good. A lot of red meat.
oh yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of red meat, and then a handful of donuts and pretzels and amazing other food that
No,
you can't get around here.
no throwing up though this time, right?
No, all good.
No, that's good. That's good.
I was worried when I got home. I'm like, all right, let's see what I got to lose. Get on the scale. And honestly, I was like 96.2. And then after
What?
dinner tonight, I was at 96.1. So I'm like, oh, I'll be in the like 95s tomorrow. And I mean, back at it. So no
It
big
seems
deal.
like, that's where you're living now.
Yeah.
That's where you're living. That's cool. I'm happy to say that I put out I didn't put it out, but in my mind, I made a goal of gaining 4 kilos this month, and I'm 2 kilos up. So I'm good with that.
That's
If
good.
I'm walking into Vegas,
Strictly muscle.
so of
Note that.
course, it's not a tub of ice cream and crumble cookie and no. I mean, there has been a lot of that. If I walk into Vegas at 104, I'm feeling that would be perfect.
Sure.
We'll see. So
You want to be just heavy enough where you're like 100% recovered from everything you're doing.
Yeah.
But not too heavy where you're sluggish and moving differently and having to move around the belly and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, the sluggish part, that's a thing for sure. But I'll tell you, I haven't felt that in a long time, so that's good. And of course, you have not either. So you said you ate some good food out there. Let's talk about that. What was probably your favorite thing that you experienced out in Tennessee?
I mean, it's always steak, but
Yeah.
it's like locally raised. Like, I mean, who knows how long? Like, I don't think that ribeye that I ate had ever seen a freezer. So it was probably alive and beating like a week or two before.
And that's so do you notice a difference like in the flavor and the tenderness and all that stuff?
I definitely did. They were kind of complaining so Jimmy and Heather are planning on getting some cows, and they're like,
Okay.
"Yeah, if you want a cow, just buy it and they'll live here." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ooh, that's an idea." But I mean, buying a whole cow out there and having it butchered and processed and packed and everything for you is like $2,500. So I'm like, do I really? I don't know how much I'm gonna actually be saving if I went through the process of. I don't want to get to know this cow.
So I wouldn't say growing up. In my early adult years, my dad, my brother, and I would buy a cow. And my dad had a friend about 2 hours south of here in Oak Ridge area of Oregon, out in the country. Anyways, he had a pasture. We would raise the cow there, and he would basically do the raise, and we would have a butcher guy come out in his like rusted out like big ice cream truck looking thing, and he had a process. He did it fairly.
Wagon.
Yeah, exactly. He did it in a fairly humane way and a way that didn't ruin the beef or the animal. So, but it packaged it up and everything right there in the field. And so, but here's how I'm telling the story. My dad would kind of led the charge in these, and so he would always name the cow. And it was always like, we did it a couple times. So, but he was Cheeseburger. We had a cow named Cheeseburger, ribeye, ground beef. And then we did like a pig one time. He named it Rambo, and pork and beans. What else? He also had bacon. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
I appreciate what he's doing. But at the same time, I'm like, so when we would get together as a family, like we used to back in the day, it was like, oh, we're eating cheeseburger right now. Like, like lived in our house as a person or something.
That's pretty awesome.
I will say, the beef is different. The ground beef is different. We played around with like how we kind of finished the cow on like whether it was straw or whether it was like hazelnuts, or I didn't notice a huge difference on based off of what we finished it on. It definitely tasted different, more fresh, a little more chlorophyll-y for me.
Okay.
On the ground beef especially. But at the same point, you just you're getting good beef.
Yeah, they said that nobody around there finishes anything on grain. It's always grass till the end.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the reasons they want to get some cows is so that they can finish it with grain. So
it makes a difference.
I had no complaints. It was amazing.
I can't imagine you did. Yeah. I mean, for me, I had to go out and buy a chest freezer for it because it's a lot of beef. And,
Sure.
I was always like, the second time we did it, I was just coming out of culinary school. And so I'm like, oh, I want all the offals. I want all the liver. I want the brains. Can you give me the cow head? And my dad's looking at me like, you're insane. You want the cow head? And I was like, yeah, but he didn't give it to me. So I was a little pissed off about that. But we did a thing in school. So there's I don't know if you've ever heard of this it's called head cheese. You heard of that before?
I've heard the term, but I don't remember what it is.
Primarily, you just take and you pit, or not the pig, but the cow head. You take a saw and you cut it down long ways, and then you boil the head, and all of that stuff that comes up off that head, all that meat, you basically turn it into a forced meat or like a sausage, ground beef meat type stuff. Mix it with a bunch of different seasonings and like caramelized onions and garlic and all this stuff. And some people do it different ways, just depending on the type of where you are in the country. In like Canada, it's like a spread on toast.
Okay.
Like it's like spreadable meat. If that, get you going, I don't know. But in other ways, they eat it like sausage, where they case it up and then they smoke it. And, it's like,
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's so we did it once we made it from the cow's head in school, and so I wanted to do that at my own leisure, but nobody would let me do it in my family. So, but it's an acquired taste. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
the look on your face is hilarious.
Boar's Head sells it.
Yeah, yes, they do.
It looks like a ham.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Some people will like slice it up into like deli meat style almost.
Yeah,
it's it's like liver pate. Do you ever eat liver pate?
No.
Nah, yeah. It's
we're about to have a guest.
Oh yeah,
someone's about to come in here for an artichoke.
Hi.
He texted me to see if it was okay.
Of course it's okay. I love artichokes. I don't know about you, but like it is, artichokes are a staple at our house. Like we'll just each get an artichoke and like maybe some beef or some sausage or something, and just sit there and eat the artichokes and chop up the sausage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we probably do it at least once a month.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
So it's a very common thing over here as well. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, today we have a Q&A show, and if you're listening live and you didn't see the post, go ahead and place your Q&A in the comment section and we will answer it. I'm going to go first one. This is a good one to start with. This is from a lifter. Her name is Harper. And she's actually on the Heroic Barbell team. So my team, she is 13 years old, and she's a good lifter. I really like. She always shows up to team practices. She's really pushing hard. And she first started weightlifting about 6 months ago, and I was blown away by the way she moves from at that age, only been lifting for 6 months. So her question is, how long have you been a weightlifter for? I'll let you start this one.
I started, I think, the very end of 2012, but it might have been 13. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, so I don't remember a lot of it. But I kind of count that. I know a lot of people. I go back and forth on when do you become a weightlifter or when did you touch a barbell for the first time.
Yeah,
so whatever it was, I touched the bar the first time right around Veterans Day, which is in November. And then in February, one of the coaches, who was my favorite coach at the gym, he said, we're starting a weightlifting class. You should come to it. And he then said, you don't have to run. And I went, oh, okay, cool.
Sold.
So that was the beginning.
Solid. I was 2017 was when I first, I guess, officially started weightlifting. I was in CrossFit for 8 years before that. And the last year of my CrossFit stuff, I completely stopped all the gymnastic stuff and was really, really focused on just getting better at snatch and clean and jerk, because that is literally what I was the worst at. And I was a coach, and so I'd coach a class, and then I'd go back to the gym, and I would just snatch and clean and jerk and squat. And that's all I did for probably about a year and a half until that gym closed. And then went to a Globo gym and met some people there that thought that it would be cool to be on the same team. So from there, I guess, I would say that was 2017, around November-ish time. I think I did my first competition 2019. And it was on since then, man. I mean, to me, I think to what you said was, you don't have to run. Awesome. It was like, for me, it was like, how can I compete at this age? I couldn't compete in CrossFit. I probably could have if I really dedicated myself more to it, but I didn't want to. And it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And the people I met at the Globo gym had a lot of hype around it. And so it was really new. And I was like, oh, I can get into this right now. And so it was from then on. I mean, mind you, 12 days into lifting with those people, I ruptured my elbow. So I guess you could probably take a year out of that, because it was a year of nothing. Literally I learned how to one arm snatch in that year.
Okay.
Well, just an empty barbell.
Dumbbells? Okay.
I used to do the one arm dumbbell snatch in CrossFit, but no, it was like, well, this arm still hurts, so I'm just going to put it behind my back and I'm going to just do one arm.
Nice.
I don't know how great they were, but it was a lot of alone time, I'll tell you that. But hey, still here. It's 2025. I don't see myself going away for a while now, but it's a great sport overall.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think maybe a better way to look at it for just, I don't know, when is the first time you competed? So we both answered that. I think, well, you answered that. For me, it was 2015.
Okay.
So that might be where it's like you're officially a weightlifter, is like the first time you sign up for a meet and you train for a meet and then you go and compete at a meet. Yeah. Because I don't know if we've ever talked about it, or I don't remember. There's been a handful of shows that we've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that argument, are you a weightlifter if you don't compete? That type of stuff. So
yeah,
I think if you've never competed, then you're probably doing a bunch of other stuff too. But once you have competed, I think that's when you've officially started weightlifting.
That's a good point. I kind of like that. And because you could be in the gym snatching, clean and jerk all you want, it may not make you a weightlifter. I like that, dude. it's a good starting point, and it's a definitive starting point. Like,
Yeah.
I can actually say I compete in weightlifting now, so I'm a weightlifter.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to register. You have
Yep.
to get into
Have
USAW. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
I like that.
When USAW has recognized you, like
Yes.
that's how someone could look you up.
I like that a
So
lot.
maybe
I like-
that's a better way to answer it.
Yeah, that is a good way to answer it. Cool. Moving on. Let's see. Next question. This one is from a listener by the name of Schmatty Matty. She says, which lift do you like better, the snatch or the clean and jerk? I think we are the exact opposite on this one. So I'll let you go first because snatch always goes first.
Snatch.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, clean and jerk for me. I've always moved better. I've been doing it since high school, I guess. Well, the power clean in high school, but
Sure.
you know, I think I just have more time with it and more time and attention. And when it comes to, it's like for me, it's the closer. I like the ability to walk out there and close out a meet and on the lift that you can do so much more than you can in snatch. That's just my.
Not,
I guess
not
that's
all of us. My numbers are getting pretty close.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What do you like about the snatch? Is it just the ability to do it?
I like that it's one and done. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the clean. It's not the clean. It's the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
So
good point.
you mess up that clean a little bit, or if the timing's off, or if the positions are off, then that's going to be real rough. And then you just did all this real hard part, and then you still have more to do. And if you don't make the next part, the first part didn't count. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's partially why I like the snatch. I also, I like that. I like to be good in the snatch because it means I don't have to be as good in the clean and jerk. I mean, I still need to be as good as I can be, and I
Mhm.
don't know how good I'm going to have to be. But if I'm ahead in the snatch, it means I've got a buffer in the clean and jerk, and
Yeah.
they're going to always have to make up the difference. So if I can be good in the snatch and decent in the clean and jerk, then they've got to be really good in the clean and jerk, because I'm generally fairly ahead in the snatch. So
That's a really good explanation, dude. That makes 100% sense. I've always looked at and I said this before, but the snatch is the ballerina, and the clean and jerk is the grunt. It's like the snatch is such a technical lift. And the more and more and more I do it every week, the more reps that I put in. My mind is not as solidified on that concept. On the snatch is this beautiful like technique. Like there's some of the ways that I've had to muscle that shit up and use my strength like I do in the clean and jerk. And the clean and jerk is just like a grip it and rip it for me, but there is still some technique. So it's like, and you mentioned it this last show about, when you had, Wes was at the thing doing the seminar and how you learned different positions or different things to do in those positions to make your clean and jerk better. So, this narrative that the snatch is like this beautiful, like ballerina, and the clean and jerk is like this grunt lineman. I don't know, man. The more I do this, the more reps I put in, I think the less I agree with that. But there is a difference. And I don't know. I like the clean and jerk because I'm good at it. And I'll be completely vain about that.
no, that's totally fine. No,
Yeah.
I kind of look at it like, let's say I'm going to go to a competition and someone is much better in clean and jerk than I am, but I'm much better in the snatch.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to make up numbers here. Let's say they open at 120.
Okay.
They make 120. I'm set to open at 130. They bump to 25. They miss it. They attempt it again. They miss it again. I open at 130. I am now 10 kilos ahead. That means that they have to clean a minimum of 11 kilos more than me.
Okay.
Just to beat me.
Mm-hmm.
let's say I make 2 lifts, so I make 30 and 35. Now they've got to be 16 ahead. Well, most likely, if I'm pushing, let's say I open at 60 and they open and they're planning on opening at 70. So it's that flip-flop spread.
Yeah.
And I make 60 and then I make 65 and they haven't even opened yet. Well, all of a sudden now they have to make 80 or 81.
I like that.
So it puts a lot of pressure on them, but it does give them the advantage to know what they have to hit. So
it's interesting because I like how you put that in the sense of like, well, if you're opening at 60 and they're opening at 70, you go in, you hit 65, right? Just like you just said. It puts so much pressure on making, like, how many times do you walk out to a clean and jerk, opening clean and jerk and have pressure? Probably not that often. At least I don't. But at the same point, like, if he didn't, like, if say they didn't make that 70, like, then you have 2 more lifts to actually get on the freaking board and get up to 80 to even beat you. So it's like, it puts so much more pressure on that person that's actually opening heavier. And, when it comes to competing, the game is completely different and the pressure is real. And you can go out there and miss a lift twice, 3 times that you've hit a million times in training. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. And I think I'm not tooting my own horn, but I feel I'm fairly good in the snatch and I'm decent in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, I would agree.
So
your numbers are pretty damn good, dude.
we'll see how it goes. It's been real rough recently, but I'm also really little. So
I hear you. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay, so that does get in my head too when I start like dropping weight, and I'm like, man, is this because I'm little? But you have, I think you have proven that to be wrong because I'm seeing your lifts, and even though that you're little, the one thing that is more obvious, and I think I've said this before, is your speed is more obvious. I think you've always been fast, but you're moving at such a higher velocity. Not that we're going to go out and do velocity training, but you're moving at a higher velocity, which to me, I feel that that's somewhere down the stretch, especially when you're peaking for a meet and all that, you forget like, oh shit, I'm not making this lift because I am not fast because of the cycle that I'm in and I'm beat up. And then you get that 1.5 to 2 week taper, and all of a sudden that speed, and you show up to the competition, that speed is back. And I think one thing I've noticed with you specifically is how fast you look getting under that bar. And how fast you move around that bar.
Definitely in the snatch, but the clean where you need the strength, that's where it's rough.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, there might be a reason I'm not posting much clean and jerks.
Right. Yeah, there's a reason why I posted block work this late on in the cycle. Yeah. So anyways, let's go back to the questions. Okay, I'll say this one just because I don't think it's a real question. But they ask, this is from Sherry Rules. I think I said her last name wrong. Probably didn't. It says, how many times do you slap and fold that dough? I'm going to leave that up to your imagination, Sherry. So you have fun with that. I gotta be honest, man. I got some interesting comments coming through my DMs when I put that up, and I was like, "No, really, slap and fold is an actual technique." But I see where you're going with that. Good old stuff. I like it. Okay, next question. This is a good one. So this comes from a gentleman. Now I've met him at a number of different competitions. We are in the same age and weight class, but I don't actually. I know him by Pineapple. That's his name. That's his name in my phone. So it says, when doing a competition, do you go in with the mindset of going all out or hitting specific numbers? We could talk about this for days. Here's my very short and fast take on it, and then we'll expand from it. But when I'm going into a competition, I'm going in to hit the best numbers I possibly can. It's a conversation between my coach and I. When I go to a local competition, I'm a little bit more relaxed and going after big numbers and going a little bit maybe ballsier. When I'm in a national competition, it's more specific. I don't know if there's ever been numbers that I'm like, I got to hit this and this at this competition. I know what I want. I always plan out my openers, and that's it. And then I let the competition roll from there. My mindset is always to go as heavy as I possibly can by that third attempt of each lift. But the competition will really dictate that. And your lifting will dictate that. But you got to have the mindset of going as far as you can in this six attempts that we get. And that's the way I look at it. I say, I want to take what is my lowest number I'm going to hit, which is my opener. And then I'm going to let my coach figure it out from there, or I'm going to let the platform figure it out, or the barbell, or see where I'm at. There's been many times when, like this last nationals, I opened at 90 kilos. I haven't done that in a long time. And then I made a jump to 98 kilos. So that was a dictated jump based off of a miss. And so that stuff happens. Luckily I made that one. So I guess that's my short and fast answer.
Okay. I like that. I feel like so many of my questions are, it really depends what the competition is, and it depends what's the purpose of the competition. And it also depends, where are you in the rankings for podiuming? Yeah. Is there a chance you're going to win or podium, or are you in the B or D session, or skip C? Are you in one of the other sessions? I think if you are not in line to podium or win, you should be sticking to some realistic numbers there. You should, like you were saying, go as heavy as you think you can, but don't just put that PR on the bar when you missed half your warm-ups and you're opening heavier than you've ever opened before, and you just really want that PR because you feel you deserve it, when realistically you probably don't if you're missing that many lifts. So local meets, I like the idea of going a little bit heavier. It's not as big of a deal. It's cheaper. You're not traveling, all that kind of stuff. But you do have more people that you probably know there, so you will be a little bit more head down if you miss. If you're going into a big meet, nationally, international, whatever, I'm speaking more to masters because that's who I am.
I know, right?
If there's a chance that you can win, even, I know that Worlds is different where it's only the total, but a lot of the other competitions, they will have, I think the national stuff, they'll have a snatch medal, a clean and jerk medal, and a total medal. If there's a chance you can get one of those and you're on the board already, let's say you miss your second one and you want to go for it, and if it was a close miss on the second and the third could get you a medal, I'd put it on the bar. But be realistic with what you're doing. So if did you get it overhead and miss it behind on your second attempt, or did you kind of not even fully commit and pull through? Like, those are the kind of things. Are you mentally strong enough to go up generally a decent amount to make that lift and to put it on the bar and see what happens? So I have this meet that we're going to. I am very confused on what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing, like number wise. I have a range I want to open with, but mentally I'm preparing for seeing what it is. Just being open and seeing what's realistic of what I'm capable of and when I've been capable of it. I've had a couple of setbacks with some stuff, so it's kind of like I have an idea. I'd like to open over 25, but I would also really like to make at least an attempt at the world record at 143.
Yeah.
getting from 125 to 143, that's not impossible, but it's, I better be having a freaking good day. I mean, I could go 25, 35, 43. Those aren't uncommon jumps, but I am at an uncommon weight in competing. So
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And that's, that's the right mindset right there. It's really easy to say I have the mindset to walk in there and not leave any kilos on the platform. And I think there's a lot behind that. Personally, there's an area to be strategic. There's an area to go balls to the wall. And then there's like your goals. I like what you said about not have you want to walk in there and you expect to make something, but maybe you just don't deserve it. Like that's a real thing. I always kind of in the back of my head, I'll judge how well I'm going to do at a competition about how many times I've hit my opener in training. And that has actually proven me wrong at times. So you just never know. You do your best to train up into the meet, and every day is a different day. And you could walk in there and just have the meat of your life. And then you could walk in there and have the absolute worst day of your life. You just never know. The more prepared you are, the better. The more consistent you are, the better. The more, sleep you've gotten, the better. But also then again, most of the times I sleep like 4 hours before the night of the meet because I'm nervous. It's just what it is. Like, I can't imagine I'm going to do anything different in Vegas. So it's like, all that stuff matters. And I'd like to kind of say as a side note, recovery is good, but it's 1% of what we do. It's an accumulation. But so like, you don't get your 10 hours of sleep the day before the competition. Don't worry about it. Like, just get out there, get some, for me, it's like get some ibuprofen and a little bit of caffeine in me and I'm good. I've been moving it. And then you got adrenaline and all the natural stuff that comes along with it. So, it's a very, I'm not going to say it's a loaded question, but it's a complicated answer because it depends, like you said, it depends on the competition.
The other thing I would highly recommend is if you track your sleep and if you track like those types of things, you stop that the week before. Yeah. Because you don't want to know what you actually slept.
Yeah,
exactly. You don't want to have your Whoop saying that you're at 45% for the day and you wake up and see that and you're like, oh no, this is competition day. This is going to be terrible. Like, you stop all that. I'm currently tracking my sleep right now just to kind of force me to go to bed earlier. Summer is hard to get your 8 hours of sleep. Like, I have not been getting it. And I've been trying to get 7 hours of sleep and it's very rough. Mm-hmm. So I'm tracking it so that I can see that I'm trying. So
right. And it's like I said, it's an accumulation. And like you're gonna go, especially with sleep, man, it's gonna be up and down. But you accumulate the right amount in order to recover for what you're doing in life. And it's not just weightlifting, it's like being productive at work, being good for your family, being good for yourself. And then being able to get out and lift. It's such a crazy algorithm. But all right, that was a good one. I have a question from a listener by the name of Jackie Bubaki. They're asking what the hype song is, what our hype songs are. We went through this with our team where it was like, what song would you what's your walkout song? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't make a decision on that. I was like, the intro to let me write. Let's see. I did like Rage Against the Machine. I did Iron Man by Black Sabbath. I was Walk by Pantera. It was all like rock music. I did some like Viking drum music that Joe messed up on his post, I might add. I think, I don't know. I just, because at that moment when I'm sitting at those chairs, like I have a specific playlist I listen for the meet and that's it. And at that point, I'm not listening to music. I'm so like glued into what's going to happen. And honestly, if I have music going on, it's hard for me to visualize. And there's a person that I might know pretty well that told me a long time ago at one of my first meets, visualize yourself doing this. His name is Cornell George. You might know him, but he said, close your eyes and visualize yourself making that lift on the platform. It works. I'm sorry to say, for all you haters out there, it works. So sometimes. I don't really have a song. Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you miss.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You miss. We miss.
We all miss. So I'll say Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, that would be my hype music right there.
So I'm finding it. Listening to you, I'm like, okay, well, it seems like there's like 10 different things going on here. So walkout music to me is like, okay, this is like when I'm seeing a fight match or something and they're walking out and they're choosing the song that they're wanting to listen to, but it's not necessarily what I would want if I could have headphones on lifting in a meet, it's not what I would be listening to.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
So, if I could choose a walkout song, like if they're doing introductions, let's say they pulled each person out individually, I would probably take the instrumental, like no words, to Butterfly from the I don't remember the band name, but the song Butterfly.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I think that would be awesome. So
that's because that's the style of music that you snatch to, right?
Let me see.
I gotta look it up now. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
It's not. It's like a rap song.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the slower song.
No,
Butterfly.
No. If it was Crazy Town.
Yeah. Oh, we're both playing. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
That's probably what I would want.
Okay, so Buttered by that song. I like that. And just the instrumental, not the words.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's what's playing in my head, it's completely different music. Like it's slow and calm snatch music, and then it's Limp Bizkit for the rest.
Yeah, there's in fact, let me play. There is a Limp Bizkit song that I get that would be my real like walkout, and it's I love the intro to this song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chocolate Starfish, Carfish, whatever. I can't talk.
Yeah. Chocolate Starfish. Yeah. I mean, is there like for me? This is that gets me going. Like I could sit here and listen to this and lift and be like just throwing things at the wall, but like. That would be a walkout song for me. A hype song, I'm listening to something nobody's ever probably heard, so I'm not even going to bring it up, but it's like some really, really, really angry, I call it angry rap. And it's his name's Billy Woods, and he's an angry man, but he gets you really like, it's slower, it's methodic, but it's very angry with the lyrics. And so I'm like, that does it for me. So let's see if there's any more questions that came in here. None on Instagram. I think we hit all those. Now that's pretty much it on the questions. So I posted it late. I didn't get too many, but that's okay. It's something we haven't been talking about too much because we've been talking a lot about, what we're doing leading up to this meet. And, I think we've talked a little bit about what we're doing after this meet. And there's been like talk about like, do I move on or whatever? But is there a world where we do like, okay, say you go out there and you hit your 43. Okay. World record. You hit your 43 world record that you're trying to go for. and you come off that stage, you come off that platform, you do your clean and jerks, you walk away from this competition. Is there a world that you could actually like just completely hang it up? Is that the number that your brain is like, or your brain and your heart is like, that's it, I'm done, I'm not pushing my body anymore?
Not 43, I tell you
Nice.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've snatched more than that before.
I know you have. I know, but like,
no, I would like to have the world record.
Yeah.
But I also know that doesn't really mean anything other than, I mean, I've already snatched the world record. I've snatched the world record in the other weight class, just not in competition.
Love it.
I mean, I've made these lifts. I have lifts that even if I snatched one, and I've never even imagined snatching 170, but if I snatched 170, I wouldn't stop. Like I'm okay not snatch. I really want 155. That's always been the chaser. And I've attempted, I've basically, and I don't like to be one of those people who's like, I've basically made this, but I've come as close that you can. I started pulling a adductor on the stand up after it was supported overhead, and I could just sit there for 10 more seconds if needed.
Yeah.
And I've attempted 60 a couple of times. Like,
if
I could snatch 60, I'd be like, I don't know what, I mean, I don't know if I will ever snatch more than I've ever snatched. And I'm okay with that. So I think I might be already past that point where I'm okay not hitting another snatch PR.
That makes sense.
But I'm not at the point where I definitely have toned stuff down where it's like, I don't know if pushing for some of these numbers is worth the risk to reward ratio.
Yeah.
That meet that I did a couple years ago, that was a meet where I said, if I rip a shoulder, if I tear my knee, like that's okay. And now I'm like, it's not okay. So I don't want that to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I ask it because we have a mutual friend who texted me today and was like, hey, if I snatch 30, I'm done. I can't push my body anymore. I can't do this like consistently. I'm like, if I hit 30, I am content. And then, my response is back was like, hey, only you know your heart and your body and where that's at. Much respect for that. I go, but you hit 30 and you're always going to say, man, I could hit 32. And then you hit 32 and then you're gonna be like, man, I can hit 35. And then how do you walk away from 35 without hitting that 300 clean or 300 snatch? It's like, that's how my brain works. And that tells me that's a very big trigger in my brain of like, hey, you got a lot of time left here. Keep pushing. And, time will only tell when you're done with this sport and where you're actually content at. And you said it best. 2 years ago, you would have been like, if I tore a shoulder, I tore a shoulder. Right now, no. No, not there for it. I'm not here for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's days where I'm like, I mean, two and a half, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all a blur. I knew what I was doing on Saturday, and I knew that I was going to have a rough week.
Yeah.
And I had a much rougher week than I was expecting. I still feel like I am recovering from 15 days ago.
Yeah.
I've hit some numbers. I'm happy with the progress from there, but I essentially had to take a full week off lifting 5 weeks out from I don't want to call it the biggest competition of my life because I've already done this competition.
Yeah, you sure have.
From a very large competition.
Yeah.
Should I have done that? No, absolutely not. Do I regret it? A little bit.
Yeah.
Do I regret it a lot? No. It was still good. I was. I'll post about it in about 4 weeks. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we're at 44 minutes. I think that wraps this show. Another good Q&A show. I like these shows. I like when people get interactive. And I'm gonna close the show with one thing, and that is a definite. I will never play pickleball. No, I'm
Nope.
joking.
I'm not. I don't ever plan on playing it. The
I
nice part
don't-
is I'm about to move to a place that doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah, I know. You probably have a lot of that down there. So,
Oh, down here,
yeah,
awful. Yeah.
it's awful. Okay, pack your bags. All right, duly noted. All right, Cornell, been a great show. Thank you. Hope you enjoy your artichokes, and thank you everybody for listening. Adios.
Bye.